Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Summer Innovation Series. My name is Dasia Johnson. I'm the Program Specialist for the Ohio APEX Accelerator. And with me today, I have Mr. Jordan Lucas. He's the Director of the Southern Ohio APEX Accelerator. Good morning, Jordan. Thanks again for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Thanks. So we will be kicking off a seven-part innovation series, again titled the Summer Innovation Series. And the purpose of this training segment is to provide an opportunity for you all, the small businesses of Ohio, who are interested in innovative technology and looking to forward your business in that landscape. Give you guys an opportunity to learn about some of the resources at your disposal to continue your R&D efforts and continue to grow and scale your business. So a little about the Summer Innovation Series, of course. As I mentioned, there'll be seven different training sessions. Six of them are virtual, and these webinars will be every Wednesday, kicking off at 10 a.m., lasting for about an hour. And some of the things that we will cover throughout this series will be an in-depth review on small business innovation research, or SIBR, and we'll also get to talk about STTR, small business technology transfer. You'll also even get an opportunity to hear the stories of some small businesses who have engaged in these endeavors. Throughout the process, you'll also hear a little bit about foreign ownership, control, and influence, or FOCI, as we like to call it, and leadership from several different organizations around the country will be able to stop in and allow an insight into what they do, and then an opportunity for you all to, of course, interface with those leaderships. People from the NASA Glenn Research Center, the Defense Counterintelligence and Security Agency, as well as Air Force Research Labs, and leadership from the Homeland Security Innovation Hub. All of this in the Summer Innovation Series is capped by a small business resource panel event. And that's a really cool opportunity for Ohio small businesses to, again, interface with leadership from various walks of small business support, to include the Ohio APEX Accelerator, the SBDCs, as well as the Ohio Manufacturing Extension Partnership, MEP, and the Ohio Third Frontier. That in-person event launches on September 10th, and please be sure to join the APEX Accelerator website and register for any of these iterations of the training series that you all are interested in. And I'll be sure to drop a link to the next iteration of the series in the chat today. That way, if you're not registered for next week's event, you can do so before next Wednesday. And of course, without further ado, we will now jump into today's segment, the Introduction to Innovation. This is going to be an opportunity to learn a little bit about what the Ohio APEX Accelerator does, how we contribute to the innovative space, as well as some of the innovation opportunities out there that the APEX Accelerator touches on a pretty consistent basis. And so with that, Mr. Lucas, I will hand it over to you.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Deja. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you giving me the time to be with you here today. I'm going to go over some of the services that we provide as APEX Accelerators to small businesses in the state of Ohio. As Deja said, I am the director of the Southern Ohio APEX Accelerator. We're at the very southern tip of Ohio, but our area is a 10-county area at the southern point of Ohio. But we all do the same things. We all are set up in order to help small businesses break into federal, state, and local government markets. And that includes a lot of different aspects. So I just kind of wanted to go over an overview of the program, kind of what our mission statement is and what our overall overreaching goal is. So we used to be called PTAP, or Procurement Technical Assistance Program, through DLA, the Defense Logistics Agency. We have since gone through a change over the past couple years. We are no longer directly under DLA. We now fall under the DoD, the Department of Defense. We do serve all 50 states as well as Puerto Rico and Guam. So no matter where you may be, there are APEX accelerators that are here to help you. So in the past, as I told you, like with PTAP, that was the program. We were called PTAC, that was Procurement Technical Assistance Centers. It meant something. Our new name is just kind of catchy. It doesn't actually mean anything. You can't break Apex down into anything, but it is kind of cool. And we got some new branding, and that's our new name. So that's what we're known as. So our whole purpose, as you can see with our mission statement, is to serve as the access for existing and new businesses to strengthen the defense industrial base by accelerating innovation and establishing diverse supply chains. I put our website on there for the program, for the APEX Accelerators program. You can actually even use locate features on that page. Depending on where you are located, you can find a APEX Accelerator that is close to you, because we do have service areas that we each oversee. And we not only want to have programs like this to educate and to train, but we want to make sure that all businesses can and will be able to participate, as I said earlier, in federal, state, and local government contracts. And we help you as much or as little through that process, depending on your situation, and every situation is different. In some cases, maybe government contracting isn't even the right fit for your business. So we kind of help you decide all that at the beginning. Once we decide if it is a good fit and it is something that would be advantageous for your business, we then start figuring out what we need to do to get you in a position to actually sell your product or service to whatever federal, state, or local government agency it is that we have determined and figured out that buys your product or service. So there's a lot of steps in there. It can get very tricky at times, but that's why we're here, is to help you through that process. Some of the services that we provide, we help a lot with certifications and things like System for Award Management. That's the federal government's database, basically, of businesses. If you want to do business with the federal government, you have to be in System for Award Management. As I said, there's a lot of different registrations we help with. We help you find opportunities in solicitations. And even CIBR and STTR and things of that nature, we help you find those opportunities. We can review solicitations with you. Sometimes that's not very everyone's bread and butter. It can be convoluted at times and very difficult. So we can help you look through those solicitations, figure out what it's saying, make sense of it, and help you determine the best way to bid on that if we determine and you determine that is something you want to pursue. And then, of course, at the end of all that, we can help you through the process of actually submitting your solicitation, adhering to what the contracting officer has established as when it needs to be in, how it needs to be packaged, how they need to receive it. We help you through that whole process. We also help you with small business certifications, and there are many. From woman-owned small business, service-disabled, veteran-owned small business certifications, to Hub Zone, historically underutilized business zone certifications, and 8A, just to name a few. We can help you through that process. We can help you fill out all the paperwork. We can help you put it together as it needs to be and get it submitted in a timely and efficient manner. We also counsel our businesses, as I've kind of alluded to earlier in my speech here. So we can sit down with you and help direct you as a small business and figure out what the best direction is for the product or service it is that you are selling. We can help do market research, as I said earlier, about actually trying to find who's buying the product or service that you are selling. We can help you create capability statements, really just kind of like a 1-2 page snapshot of your business that a lot of contracting officers require and like, because it lists a lot of pertinent information that they are looking for before they even want to entertain the idea of doing business with you. We all have bid match services also, where we have programs that will go out on the web and find opportunities that match your specific codes for what it is that you do. That helps us find many, many opportunities for small businesses, and it's very useful. As I mentioned earlier, we can help you with SBIR and STTR, and we're going to dive into that a little more as we do this session. We can help you actually with GSA schedules. Maybe the federal agency buys off the GSA schedule, and that's what you need to pursue. So we can help you find that certain schedule, and we can help you go through the process of getting set up and trying to sell your product on the GSA schedule also. And that's basically just the federal government has what they call schedules of products and services that different depending on what agency it is. Some of them buy off that certain schedule. So sometimes you have to be on a schedule in order to sell your product or service to the federal government. We can help you with DIBs when we're dealing with DLA. And I know a lot of Ohio businesses have to deal with DIBs on a daily basis, so we can help you with that. We have a lot of outreach events, webinars like this, and trainings that we do constantly to try to prepare you and get you in a really good position to understand certain federal agencies, what their processes are, and what's important to know before trying to do business with them. So that's all I have for our intro here. I guess if we have any questions, we have quite a few people here. Probably the best thing to do would be to put it into the chat, and we can probably answer all those at the end, depending on, Dasia, how you want to handle that. But that seems like the most efficient way to do it. I did put some helpful links here if you want to write those down or take a snapshot for System for Award Management. SBA's website. There's a lot of certifications that the SBA oversees, and then also a helpful link on finding contracts with the state of Ohio. I appreciate the time. I hope it was a little bit helpful, and let's dive into our session here.
Awesome. Thank you again, Jordan. And yes, to your point, we will certainly be able to answer questions at the end of our presentations today. And if you would use the Q&A function in the Zoom session here, you should be able to populate any questions that you may have throughout the day. And I want to talk to you a little bit more about innovation. You heard from Jordan about lots of the different ways that the APEX Accelerator has been empowered to assist small businesses throughout the state of Ohio. And with that, we are being asked to innovate some of the ways that we offer support to small businesses. And some of the focus areas that in recent years have been brought forth for the APEX Accelerator would include some of the things that we'll talk about throughout this training series. One of them being foreign ownership, control, or influence, better known as FOCI, cybersecurity for defense contractors and small businesses that are in the commercial sector have become a very prominent topic. So with that, we, of course, with the APEX Accelerator, have been able to help identify learning opportunities and even still help to mitigate some of the roadblocks or obstacles for small business meeting the cybersecurity requirements. There are several government-led innovation programs or GIPs that we'll be able to talk about today in ways that the APEX Accelerator can assist you in those endeavors. And then there is also this nifty little thing called the Defense Production Act or DPA Title III. And I will also talk a little bit about some of the activities in there and ways that that Defense Production Act can help small businesses further contribute to the supply chain. So again, to start, there are tons of ways that small businesses that are creating projects or different pieces of technology, innovative small businesses can be supported by some of these government programs. We'll talk about SBIR, which is Small Business Innovation Research, SBIR, which is also known as STTR, or Small Business Technology Transfer Research. There are various different challenges and competitions that are offered that also offer small businesses an opportunity to get their research and development projects funded. And consortiums are a great way also to see what's out there, what the need is for some of these big businesses and or the government, as well as how you can use your new innovative technology to meet some of those needs. Prime contractors themselves also offer some programs, and we'll talk a little bit about that today as well. To start, I want to hit on SIBR programs. So the Small Business Administration, or SBA, oversees the Small Business Innovation Research and Small Business Technology Transfer programs. And under that umbrella, there are more than a dozen federal agencies that participate in either SIBR or SITR or even both. And so with that today, we'll talk a little bit about what each of these programs kind of look like. To access the SIBR programs, you would want to go into sbir.gov, and that is going to be your research for learning about the program, getting registered so that you can apply for some of these looming and upcoming SIBR opportunities, and other registrations while we're at it for small businesses that are interested in the government supply chain. With one huge one, as I'm sure you all have come in contact with in your experience already, would be sam.gov. In addition to SIBR.gov, SAM would be a great place to see lots of different opportunities that may apply to you that you can, again, use to enhance or even contribute to the government supply chain. There is also the DSIP, the Defense Cyber Innovation Portal, a great way to access some of the opportunities that are out there. I would strongly recommend looking at each of these websites and registering your small business. Now, starting with, again, some of the ins and outs of SBIR, or Small Business Innovation Research, the SBIR program is broken out into three different phases, and each of these phases will help you to develop your technology from the idea or concept phase stage all the way out to actually selling this product in the commercial or government marketplace. So starting with phase one, of course, that is, as it says here, the proof of concept stage. The idea here is to get your idea to establish some technical merit and to identify its commercial potential. The big question that you're trying to answer in phase one is, can this idea be developed and is there a market for it? In that, the SIBR programs out there will offer anywhere from $50,000 to $275,000, and you would sit in that small business as a small business rather. You would sit in that phase anywhere from 6 to 12 months trying to answer that question of, again, what does this look like and who would it apply to? From there, a successful completion of phase one would, of course, then grant you the opportunity to move forward or register, apply, I should say, for phase two. Phase two in the SBIR programs a little bit different. Still, of course, the R&D focus. This is more about prototyping and testing this new idea or concept. You can sit in the phase two stage of small business innovation research for up to 2 years. And in that, the funding support can range anywhere from $750,000 up to almost $2 million worth of support. And of course, that again is where the ideas that were developed, of course, in phase one are really put into action and the opportunity to create that project and or that idea into a tangible concept. And from there, of course, is the opportunity to move forward into phase three. I have identified the marketplace in which I want to have this idea and taken this idea and created an actual tangible product or service from it. And the now is the commercialization stage. Phase three is an opportunity to transition this new concept or product into the actual marketplace. And from there, the funding is actually secured for non SIBR funds. This is an opportunity to sell your product to government agencies or entities and get funding from those guys for the production and marketing of your respective project or product or service. And in that, you'll also have sole source authority over this new concept that you have created. So these are some of the ways that the SIBR sitter can assist you, or SIBR, I should say, can assist you through all phases of your development for your innovative projects. That is essentially small business innovation research in a nutshell. And moving on to small business technology transfer, this is a great opportunity for those of you that have ideas and, of course, even still, that want to see some of the ideas that are already out there and find things to do with them. Federal agencies and universities are developing technology and trying to identify innovative solutions just the same way that small business owners are. And in that, they have facilities that have different projects that were, again, created and maybe wasn't right for a particular marketplace at its time, or even still wasn't able to identify a marketplace where this particular project could live. Small businesses are encouraged to partner through the technology transfer process to use some of those existing ideas or projects. And even still, there's opportunity to develop new technologies using the SITR, the Small Business Technology Transfer program as well. Some resources to engage in the technology transfer or tech transfer space would be TechLink, which I've provided a link to you here as well. NASA has a technology portfolio with several different patents and again, projects that may be worth looking into for you to find opportunities to revitalize yourself. And then universities also have tech transfer offices and research institutions in space to fund or partner with you on your R&D projects, as well as an opportunity to commercialize those projects for the government or commercial marketplaces. As I mentioned, in addition to the SIBR sitter opportunities and programs, there are multiple challenges and competitions that are offered at any given point. Federal agencies will sponsor different innovative ideas through these challenges and competitions to fund the different ideas that are already out there and have an opportunity to leverage those ideas into some commercialization aspects, and that might lead even still to opportunities to develop your own after winning a competition. Good way to access some of these challenges and competitions would certainly be through challenge.gov. I know I am clicking through some of these links, and I'll certainly be able to share these information or this information after the presentation has concluded. So don't worry if you're not able to snippy and grab these links as I move through the presentation today. Consortiums are another really good avenue in terms of getting your R&D ideas funded. Most of these consortiums, which is just a organization for research, lots of businesses will come together to create these consortiums, and then you would join as a member, and you'd have access to some of the opportunities that they may be funding, and be able to submit white papers and get your research going through those consortiums. Many of these are, as I say, pay-to-play organizations. So in order to have access to some of the opportunities out there and some of the support that comes with it, you'll want to, of course, register to be a member of some of these consortiums. But again, the juice is certainly worth the squeeze in a concept like this, where you're able to, again, get your R&D projects funded. In addition to the consortiums and SIBR sitter, and of course the competitors or the competitions and challenges, large contractors also offer programs. People like Boeing, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, these large prime contractors offer opportunities that are very similar to SIBR and sitter, where they will partner with a small business to create products, or even still they themselves will fund those small businesses directly so that they can create those R&D opportunities for those small businesses that may have very similar missions to the primes themselves. So you can certainly register with a prime contractor as a potential supplier and then reach out to the innovation office for that respective prime contractor. And that would be a good way to get into some of these prime contractor programs, which is, of course, again, another opportunity for R&D funding for your ideas. With all those different programs in mind, there are still a ton of innovative programs out there offered by various resources across the state and even still on the federal level as well. Many of these players that you see listed here will be highlighted at some point throughout the small business, or sorry, throughout the summer innovation series. DefenseWorks and of course lots of these Ohio resources will be seen throughout the series here this summer. And even for those manufacturing innovation institutes that we might not be seeing throughout this series, I definitely wanted to provide some resources here for you today so that you could access some of their innovative products and projects rather, and of course engage in those spaces as well. DefenseWorks, again, is a huge one, as well as Manufacturing USA. Throughout the state of Ohio, we, of course, have opportunities in the Ohio Federal Research Network. The Ohio APEX Accelerator is a huge resource to leverage. I'm not being biased just because myself and Jordan are here. The APEX Accelerator can certainly help to connect you with a lot of the players in the innovation ecosystem, as well as small business development centers helping to ensure access to capital and various other levels of support. The MEPs throughout the state, the Manufacturing Extension Partnership, be a great opportunity as well to identify some of these innovative resources for you. And the Ohio Third Frontier is a huge proponent for small businesses that are interested in startup projects related to innovation and technology as well. So I would certainly encourage you to research any of these state-based resources. And Ohio State offers a lot of innovative projects as well as things on the cybersecurity front and space for R&D opportunities as well through their Center of Design, Manufacturing, and Excellence. Now I want to talk a little bit about the Defense Production Act. This is a opportunity, again, for small businesses to engage through a consortium to access some of the pertinent opportunities for innovation throughout the country. And with that, there is this website that I've listed here, businessdefense.gov, an opportunity to see some of the ways that the Defense Production Act is actually actively being put in play and how it's been used in the past as well. The Defense Industrial Base Consortium, the DIBC, is a consortium that offers a lot of support to businesses that are interested in fulfilling the opportunities that come into play from the Defense Production Act. And through the DIBC, you'd be able to submit a white paper or proposal when there is an opportunity that arises related to the Defense Production Act. Currently, I don't believe there are any opportunities out there, but should they arise, the DIBC is certainly the place that you'd want to look and the consortium that you would consider joining in that regard. I want to talk a little bit about what the Defense Production Act is and kind of where it came from. So back in World War II, the U.S., as you may remember from various iterations of history class that you've engaged in, the U.S. was an industrial giant at its time. And even still, when we engaged in that war, we were able to redirect and repurpose a lot of the United States resources to support the war fighter in our efforts in that war. After World War II ended, some of the provisions and wartime laws that were in place surrounding our supply chain certainly dissipated, if you will. And with that, our supply chain took a big hit, and that was certainly felt when the next conflict arose. And so to combat something like that from ever happening again, the Defense Production Act was created in circa 1950. So, and its purpose is to authorize the president to an opportunity to make sure that all of the resources that we would need for our defense and homeland security are available to us. There were several different titles or acts put into place with the DPA, and after a period of time, all but three remain. All but three disappeared. So now we have Title I, Title III, and Title VII. Title I is what we'll start with today. That's an opportunity for the president to prioritize certain resources and even still allocate those resources in the case of an emergency. Title I in the Defense Production Act is certainly created as a triage or a reactionary, an emergency response lever, if you will, for the president to pull. Some of the examples in the past that we've seen around this section of the DPA, it would be the vehicle manufacturing switching to making military vehicles back in World War II. Another example of that more in recent history could be related to COVID. Again, manufacturers were redirecting or repurposing a lot of their resources so that they could create ventilators during the global pandemic. And in that, the president, in addition to creating some of these authorities priorities, so that we can have all the accurate resources, materials, critical technology needed to combat the crisis at hand. The president's also allowed to pull certain levers to prevent the hoarding of scarce materials. He's able to deem certain materials as scarce and then allocate them as needed, so that we can continue a continuous supply chain in the case of an emergency. Title III is really the bread and butter of the DPA Title III as it relates to small businesses, especially outside of an emergency situation. This is our provision that's put in place to continue to expand the production of the supply chain, and as well as opportunities to continue to make sure that the financing is there for those small businesses as well. So in Title III, the government, or the president, I should say, is able to fund the development, the maintenance, modernization, and again, even the expansion of the production capacity. So with that, there are several financial support levers that are able to be pulled to include loans and guarantees of loans, as well as purchases and purchase commitments, and even still grants that would, again, ensure that all of the critical technology, components, the industrial resources, and essential materials, essentially anything that we would need to prepare ourselves to combat any sort of emergency, either foreign or domestic. We need to make sure we have those sorts of things on hand ahead of time. These are certain levers the president can pull to ensure that all of those resources are available for us. Speaking on loans and loan guarantees first, the president is able to extend credit directly to businesses if the small business, or even large as needed, if the opportunity to create a certain resource is available and these businesses are relevant suppliers to that, however, don't have the funding to react as quickly to build these relative tools or components for our support. In the event that the financial aiding is deemed necessary, and that this loan or loan guarantee is the quickest way of getting this financial support to the small business or large business, as the case may be, then a loan or loan guarantee would be enacted. And those are even used to prevent certain businesses from going into bankruptcy, if the business is considered to be a relevant enough player, so to speak. A good example of that would be, not that this has actually happened, but Boeing. That not happened in a long time, I should say. If Boeing were under under any sort of financial duress and we're going to go bankrupt, the Defense Production Act could be leveraged because Boeing is such um, a huge supplier to the supply chain in the government and commercial aspects that it would actually cause a huge impact should they go under. That would be an example of the bankruptcy clause kind of coming into play as far as these loans and loan guarantees work. Um, I will say that the loans and loan guarantees portion of the Defense Production Act hasn't been used in over 30 years. However, there are other financial support levers that have been pulled more recent history, such as purchases or purchase guarantees. The leadership can essentially offer or offer to buy the products and resources that the businesses need directly, and then have those items shipped, of course, to the business to ensure that they can continue their production and supplying to the government in the event of a crisis or in preparation for said crisis. Purchase guarantees as well is an opportunity to essentially, I know that you have the money and you can pay me once you have the specific product bought or sold, created, what have you. So purchase guarantees and purchases are, again, levers that the federal government is able to pull to ensure that these small businesses have the financial backing to continue to supply the government and contribute to that supply chain. From there, in the Defense Production Act, there is also Title VII. Now, this one is important just because it keeps some of those general provisions in play. And for this room and for this conversation, I think one of the most important pieces of Defense Production Act Title VII would be the modernization of small business suppliers. In that, essentially, the federal government understands that small businesses are the backbone of our economy and of the supply chain as a whole. And so, with that, the Defense Production Act is having a provision in place that ensures small businesses are players in the game, A, in the case of an emergency, and B, to ensure that we have everything we need in the event that an emergency actually takes place. With that, the Defense Production Act has provisions to ensure that those small businesses will get an opportunity to feed the government in these instances. And if there is an opportunity for large businesses to contribute as well, it is also required of them to use the small businesses as subcontractors. Again, when it is feasible to do so in the case of an emergency. In a nutshell, DPA Title III will require presidential determination, which is traditionally issued in the case of, or in the event of an executive order. And when the president issues a executive order that impacts the government supply chain, the DPA Title III provisions are able to ensure that small businesses are players in the game. And companies can submit white papers if there is a funding opportunity announcement that is connected to these executive orders using the link below. And then even still, small businesses are able to inquire what kinds of products, services are needed by contacting the inbox that I've listed here as well. Companies are invited to submit proposals, again, in combination with the consortiums to see what sort of opportunities are out there as well. And should there be an event such as an emergency that takes place, or even still just in preparation for some of those emergencies, the critical technologies that are requested through some of these executive orders are able to be have their needs met by small businesses that are interested in engaging in the Defense Production Act. And again, businessdefense.gov will be another resource to provide you with some details on some of these innovative programs that I've mentioned before, as well as DPA. Now, in addition to some of the federal programs that I've talked about this morning, I also want to share some of the ways that the Ohio APEX Accelerator has innovatively collaborated with small businesses throughout the state of Ohio. One of them would be through the Ohio Procurement Internship Program. Small businesses that are engaged in the government contracting landscape can attest to the fact that it takes a lot of knowledge to really understand the ins and out of government procurement. And even still, it takes a lot of man hours to field some of the different databases and what have you. So with that, we have created a program at the Ohio APEX Accelerator that that combines some of the resources at local universities with the resources available with the Ohio APEX Accelerator. Students are recruited at their university levels and engaged in a semester-long course where they learn lots of specialized training from leadership within the Ohio APEX Accelerator network. And after successfully completing a 16-week class, those businesses or those interns are connected with businesses across the state to serve as what I like to call a mini Apex Accelerator, identifying opportunities, helping to develop capability statements, conducting various levels of research and partnership engagement with federal or state and local contracting organizations as well. And throughout the Ohio APEX Accelerator, we've seen lots of success in offering these training opportunities to the small businesses, offering these training opportunities to the students, as it opens their eyes to a profession that maybe they hadn't considered before. And even still, there is an opportunity for small businesses to develop a more robust workforce, even if just for the summer, as well as to get some financial incentive as well. Small businesses that engage in the Ohio Procurement Internship are reimbursed up to $5,000 for all of the intern wages that are paid throughout the summer. We've seen a lot of success with this program over the course of the 3 years now that it's been in play. 67 students have engaged in this program through the two universities that it's offered at Youngstown State University and Ohio University, and from that, even those students who's engaged in the course learned a ton about the government contracting landscape. Many of those moved on, of course, to engage in summer internships. There have been 40 internships offered since the program's inception in the 22 to 23 school year. And with that, we, of course, send out surveys and requests for feedback from the small businesses that are engaged in this program. And all the businesses are willing to return and continue to engage in this program, having seen success and 70% or more of the students that have been engaged in this program were offered part-time, full-time, some sort of extension in their relationship with the small business host that they were with throughout the summer. So tons of success from this program in just a short time, and this is proved as a really innovative solution for small businesses in Ohio. In addition to the Ohio Procurement Internship Program, there is also the Cyber Secure Program. In response to the DoD's new regulations around cybersecurity, or as you may be familiar with the CMMC regulations, they can be very convoluted and even still very costly for small businesses to find ways to regulate with or comply with, I should say. In that, we have created a program that we call Cybersecure. This program was born out of an initiative using CARES Act funds a few years ago. And once those CARES Act funds dried up, we noticed that Ohio University was actually using a very similar model to create a consulting program for small businesses. And in that, they were able to perform assessments for these small businesses as it related to their cybersecurity posture and develop an individualized plan for those businesses to enhance their cybersecurity in preparation to comply with some of the new federal government regulations. Seeing the success of both of those two programs, the Ohio Department of Development actually brought this cybersecurity initiative in-house and created CyberSecure, the Small Enterprise Cybersecurity Upgrade and Resiliency Enhancement Program. This was designed to help small businesses develop the tools that they would need and the effective strategies to, again, enhance their cybersecurity posture and prepare them to comply with some of these federal government contracting requirements. I do like to point out that cybersecure is it should be looked at in the lens of a readiness program as opposed to a cybersecurity certification program. In addition to CMMC, there are, ISO, several different cybersecurity certifications that small businesses may need to meet. And this program does not provide you with the certification. However, it builds a roadmap so that you are able to go out and complete all the different steps needed for those certifications on the defense contractor level. And then, of course, apply for said certification when you are ready. A brief overview of how this program works. Of course, there is an application portal for CyberSecure, and eligible small businesses will apply and, of course, then be introduced to the program. I'll cover a little bit about the eligibility requirements here in just a moment. Once you have gotten your application approved, you will then, as a small business, complete the prerequisite training. There's a 30-day window between application and the engagement of the program for you to complete that prerequisite training, and that's just an opportunity for you to kind of get a glimpse of the fundamentals of cybersecurity, as well as to see a little bit about behind the curtain of what you'll be seeing in the program itself. Once you're engaged in the actual program of CyberSecure, you, your APEX Accelerator or Small Business Development SBDC counselor will be contacted by a service provider, one of the contractors for this program, and that would be an opportunity to first learn about your business from the perspective of the service provider. What sort of cybersecurity do you already have in place, and even still, what sorts of services does your business provide? And from there, the service provider or the consultation firm will perform a cybersecurity assessment, reviewing any relevant policies, documentation, practices that your business has in play. From that assessment, they'll be able to conduct a series of cybersecurity consults that are, again, tailored to your business as it relates to those assessment results, and help to build that roadmap to cybersecurity compliance. Once the cybersecurity compliance or cybersecurity consultation hours have reached its max, you will engage in a closeout meeting to essentially recap everything that's been provided to you throughout this program and prevent a few next steps for both yourself and your respective counselor. And in this program, the prerequisite training that I was mentioning actually comes from one of the innovative resources that I mentioned at the beginning of the program. So the Ohio State University Center for Design, Manufacturing, and Excellence has partnered with the Small Business Administration to create an online learning management system for cybersecurity related to small business. In that, there are 3 different gateways, but each of those gateways covers a different segment, I'd say, of cybersecurity. Gateway 1 is what we'll focus on for this cybersecurity program related to cybersecure. Gateway 1 covers all the modules that you see at the top of the screen, everything from password security to patch management and endpoint security. These are some of the, again, fundamental cybersecurity topics that small businesses should be aware of. And completion of this Gateway 1 within that 30-day window that I mentioned before is required to move on to the next step. This will essentially allow you to be able to understand and talk the talk about some of the practices and the walk opportunities that'll be in play for the actual cybersecure program. So once completing the preliminary training, of course, there are two different tracks for small businesses to engage with the cybersecure program on. Track one will be related to small businesses that are not interested in or not interested in defense contracting, I should say. There are up to 15 hours of cybersecurity consulting that these businesses are eligible for. In that, we will still perform an assessment on the basic fundamental cybersecurity control categories, which amount to over 50 different processes and procedures relevant to small businesses. Once the assessment has been completed, there is a plan of action and milestones that will be assessed or identified and laid out for your small business, again, uniquely tailored to what is in your assessment. And then those small businesses will be able to be set up in SPURS, which is the supplier performance risk system that the government looks at when they are identifying potential suppliers. And track one, as I mentioned, will be geared toward more of the basic levels of cybersecurity, not as in depth as track two. Now, track two is encompassing a lot more cybersecurity proponents. There are 110 different controls as it relates to the NIST framework, and those 110 controls break down into more than 300 practices, procedures, and policies for cybersecurity. Small businesses that are engaged or interested in the defense contracting world will be eligible for an additional 60 hours of cybersecurity consulting services. So that's 75 total hours for track two. In addition to the assessment on all 110 categories, these small businesses will receive assistance in developing a system security plan for their business, as well as a plan and action of milestones to identify any obstacles to cybersecurity compliance that they still need to meet. With the plan of action and milestones, there will be recommendations on how to overcome said obstacles. And then those small businesses will also receive assistance being set up in SPURS and generating the respective score needed so the government can identify them as a potential supplier to any of their needs as well. Again, as I mentioned, we talk a little bit about the eligibility requirements for cybersecure. Many of the businesses that are engaged in this program are also offering or having a lot of ideas as it relates to the innovation landscape. And similar, I'd say, eligibility criteria for a vast majority of these programs. Now, as it relates to cybersecure, the eligibility requirements would, one, require you to be a for-profit business here in Ohio. It's an Ohio program geared to support Ohio businesses and overall impact Ohio's cybersecurity posture. These small businesses that are engaged in the program would need to be owned and operated for at least a year's worth of time. In that time, I think allows you an opportunity to A, develop some of the cybersecurity policies and procedures that you will be assessed on in the program, and B, an opportunity to identify your lane and hopefully attain some experience in either the commercial or government contracting markets. Clients that are engaged in this business in this program must be registered with either their local APEX Accelerator or Small Business Development Center. As I mentioned before, the SBDCs and APEX Accelerator counselors work in lockstep with this program and are able to ensure the continuity of the program's impact on your business once you've completed it. So certainly a requirement to have a counselor to help you throughout this process and even still thereafter. It is a small business program, so clients that are eligible for cybersecure have to be considered small businesses, and we consider that as to have 200 to 500 employees, or to be meeting the applicable size standards as set forth by the Small Business Administration. We did highlight the idea of having 200 to 500 employees, 2 being the minimum, because this is a lot to take on as one person operating and owning their business, in addition to all the work that is required to enhance the cybersecurity posture of a business as well. So at least, 2 hands in the pot there as it relates to the employee levels. And then again, small business should have some experience in the commercial and or government contracting spaces prior to engaging in the program. Now, that's all I have about cybersecure and OPIP and some of the state's innovative opportunities to provide services. I'd like to just quickly highlight some of the things that we have done thus far. Just in this past year, 2024, the program year 2024, which ended June 30th, the Ohio APEX Accelerator was able to support over $2.1 billion in award dollars for clients across the state, assisting more than 1,300 clients here in the state of Ohio. And those clients collectively won over 10,000 awards at all the federal, state, and local levels. And here is a breakdown of what some of those awards looked like and where they came from. Again, state and local prime contractors responsible for over $29 million worth of award dollars to Apex Accelerator clients. We have a ton of federal contract or federal subcontractor award dollars, as well as over $1 billion in prime contracts at the federal level as well. The Ohio APEX Accelerator is here to offer support in navigating the road to government procurement success. And that's, again, as Jordan mentioned at the top of our presentation, anything from registrations and business certifications, clear out to market research and identifying opportunities, to teaming and partnerships, and even still those post-award opportunities, all while still navigating around various standards and compliance as you conduct your innovative research and continue to supply the government supply chain. With that, I would like to open the opportunity to questions here. I see we have a few questions in the chat, and Jordan and I will certainly assist you all in some of the questions that you've asked so far.
A couple of them, Dasia, I did answer as we were going. Let's try to back up here. We did have the question about if the APEX accelerators had any examples of capability statements, and I let them know that yes, we do, and we'd be happy to help them with that. Someone did ask if there was any opportunities or any activities that would interest nonprofits. That's kind of a sticky one for us. Technically, the way our funding is worded, the clients that we work with do have to be small for-profit businesses. But I would recommend, depending on what it is you're trying to get assistance with, it couldn't hurt to talk to your APEX Accelerator. They may be able to assist. It just depends. But technically, we're supposed to assist for-profit small businesses from the direction of the Department of Defense. Someone did ask you, Dasia, how they can sign up for a host to host an intern with the internship program.
Oh, absolutely. We are in the middle of an internship, or actually close to the end of an internship here now. But in January of 26, we will start accepting applications for the 2026 summer internship program. And so just keep an eye on the Ohio Procurement Internship webpage on the development website, and you'll see that application posting announcement at that time, probably around January.
Let's see. So another person is asking if the recording will be sent out to the registration group.
The recording will be shared on YouTube, and I'll be able to provide a link to that for all those who have registered and attended today. Yes.
And then we had someone ask about the PowerPoint again, if that's going to be available to participants.
Yes, I will. I'll have to share that as well on the same website that you guys use to register. You should see that in the next day or two. For this presentation, as well as following presentations. Typically the day after is when you'll be able to see the resources for each presentation.
This one is back about the interns. are the interns who will become the mobile APEX Accelerator representatives in small businesses equipped with JCIDS or ACQ qualifications?
Uh, No, they are not. They will be um, taught, I'd say, less of the specialized programs or certifications that they're mentioning there, and basic, I'd say, marketing strategies and database registration, and as well as solicitation review and helping to do some proposal writing. Some of those are services that are offered throughout the procurement internship program, but not any specific certifications will be administered to the students now.
And then Beth asks, are we able to modify our own keywords for the search in the database, or do we have to go through our rep only? Beth, I'm assuming, I don't know if you're talking about the bid match database, or if it's your bid match database, you do have the ability to log into your profile, and you can add keywords if you would like. So you do have the ability to do that, or you can work with your Apex Accelerator to set that up. Now, it will be sent to the Apex Accelerator to make those changes, but you do have the ability to make some changes if you want to freshen up, or if you find some new stuff that you want to add to your bid match profile. Then we got, if we have completed a phase 1 and phase 2 and are looking to be on a GSA schedule going forward, what is the best way to follow up with you on this topic? Good question, Jamie. Again, the best thing to do is to contact your local Apex Accelerator, explain that very thing. I'm not sure if you're a client right now with an Apex Accelerator or not, but the process is very simple. It doesn't cost you anything, and they would be very happy to help you and guide you on the process of what steps you need to take in order to get on a schedule if that's what you have determined you want to do. She also asked if I'm working on an RFP, a request for proposal now, that's due August 5th. Is there someone who can look at it over before I submit? This is my first RFP. And that's exactly what we do, Beth. It looks like there's still quite a bit of time. Again, I don't know if you're currently a client with an Apex Accelerator, but I would think if you would reach out right now, there should be plenty of time for them to help review your RFP. Do you agree with me on that, Dasia?
Yes, I would say so. Certainly, you want to engage with your Apex Accelerator counselor. And while we can't write reviews for you, we certainly have tried and true methods in reviewing those solicitations and helping to write the proposals as well.
How can a startup in aerospace additive manufacturing get help procuring equipment for commercial applications in titanium manufacturing? That's an interesting question. So how can a startup in aerospace additive manufacturing get help procuring equipment? Ugh,
I
go
I'd
ahead.
say there's a lot of different resources for that one as well, but it might be specific to the type of additive manufacturing and location and things of that nature. I think that one might be more specific to an individual counseling as well, so that we can provide more pointed resources. But we'd certainly be able to look into that with you in more detail. Absolutely.
Beth answered our question. She was talking about the bid match database. And so, yeah, Beth, you can make changes and request changes to your profile if you just log in through the login that should have been provided to you by your Apex Accelerator. And if you don't have the login for access to your bid match, you can request that from the Apex Accelerator. And actually, you can request that from online. Also, you can just request that information. So, but it is tied to your local Apex Accelerator. Will the interns have access to GovWin?
They have access.
Oh, I guess we lost Dasia. So they have different resources. I don't know specifically if they do have access to GovWin or not. We actually would have to ask Dasia that. Their program is independent from mine, so I'm not sure with their program if they do provide GovWin or not. But hopefully she'll jump back on here in a second and we'll be able to tell you. That's great, Beth. You are currently a client. That's fantastic. So um, that shouldn't be a problem then to get that updated and change it, change some of your profile database information. What grants are available for additive manufacturing startups less than a year old? Well, we would actually have to do some research on that. I don't have that information just right here in front of me, but it's something your APEX Accelerator could certainly help you look for. Grants are they're a complicated animal. And usually the rule of thumb, if you're not a nonprofit or some type of 501c3, it is very difficult to get grants per se. The federal government, unfortunately, just isn't in the business of just giving grants to everybody. But depending on what type of, like in your specific instance, there may be a lot of different resources that are eligible to help you, as a manufacturing startup. But again, that would be specific to a one-on-one counseling session with your APEX Accelerator, so they could actually determine what it is that you're making and try to help you through answering those questions. Are there any opportunities available for businesses in trucking and logistics? Yes, there are very there are a lot, I guess I should say. I have a couple clients myself that are in the trucking business. They everything from hauling large components for the federal government to mail between different cities, long haul, short haul. There are a plethora of opportunities for trucking and logistics. So you can use a fiscal sponsor if you're not a 501c3. Also check with your local council members. They have access to discretionary funds that can help you fund projects. Yeah, I mean, anything like that, thinking out of the box, that's absolutely something that you want to try to do. All of us as small business owners is to really try to, find those resources and find ways to help support and to help your business thrive. Let's see, how does someone learn more about those trucking logistic opportunities? Again, if you could meet with your APEX Accelerator, we have a lot of resources, databases, a lot of stuff that can help us, very quickly find, a lot of different trucking opportunities for hauling and logistics. Again, I have a couple clients myself. I'm not sure exactly where you're located, but again, it's important to find the APEX Accelerator that services your area, but they could definitely help you find those opportunities. So Cincinnati. Yeah, so you would fall under the state APEX Accelerator, and they do have an office there in Cincinnati. There's Dasia.
Hi, Jordan. Yeah, I guess do the OPIP clients. I guess my computer decided that was a great time to hang up. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Oh, it's fine. I was just going through all the questions. I actually had just answered the last one. And so then we have one more. I'm trying to develop electric aircraft charging infrastructure at regional airports, which are publicly owned. How can I get started with this project? Again, I would suggest for specific things like that, it is more of a one-on-one session with a counselor at an accelerator, so that we can kind of really ascertain everything that deals with what you're doing, and then try to help you find the right path. Oh yeah, Cheyenne,
Absolutely.
she was asking about the GovWin for interns, and that's right when you got
Oh yes, that's where I lost control of my computer. I know they have access to several different database, or they will learn how to use, I should say, several different databases, and we are actively revamping that list as we create all the different things for year 4. So I'd say TBD as the short answer on whether or not GovWin specifically would be added to that list. But certainly for specific questions on OPIP, cybersecure, and even still on how to access some of these innovative resources that we've talked about today, you can certainly be able to email myself or Jordan Lucas. Both of us are listed in the information for the Summer Innovation Series on this posting, as well as reaching out to your local Apex Accelerator who has answers to all of those questions regarding all of those programs. And I think I dropped a link in the chat. Oh, and Mackenzie did as well, for you to contact your local Apex Accelerator.
is there,
With
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Deja.
Oh, I was just gonna say, with that, I know we are over time here, so I will go ahead and end our presentation.